Hi, my name is DeAna Susinskas, and I am presenting Cree Inc. as part of my MBA 585 project this summer. Cree was founded in 1987 by researchers from North Carolina State University. The company is founded on sort of innovative materials. Its primary material is silicon carbide, which is a high efficiency product, uses limited energy, however the output is high. So it's used where you need high energy conversion, such as semiconductors, radar, wireless, and now lighting and light bulbs. In 1989, Cree realized they had the technology for this, but they weren't able to perfect it. It wasn't until a researcher in 1994 proved that you could transfer the energy between the green and red diodes and create that soft white light that we are accustomed to in our homes. And that was really the beginning of the LED revolution for Cree. Why LED over incandescent bulbs? Well, first of all, incandescent bulbs are terribly inefficient. They only convert 5 to 10% of energy into light, with the rest being thrown off to heat, which is why when you touch an incandescent bulb, it is hot to the touch. However, that is not the case with LED bulbs. They're cool to the touch. Another thing is the lumens. LED light just has a better quality of light, a further outreach. Light on incandescent bulbs tends to radiate right around the bulb, where LED, sort of shoots out. So it's great in parking lots and airports, where you want high lit areas. The energy usage, incandescent bulbs, use 60 watts of energy to produce 15 lumens, where LED bulbs use 1 watt of energy to produce 20 lumens. And by 2020, that's going to be 1 watt of energy for 45 lumens. So, already there's a significant advantage. It's roughly 80% energy savings just by switching over to the LED bulbs. Where can we find Cree? Well, Cree got their big breakthrough in 1997 when Volkswagen used Cree light bulbs in its dashboard. You can also find Cree at Duke University Stadium. They used it for the outdoor lighting. Michigan State used it in its scoreboard. The state of California commissioned Cree to sort of come up with a sustainability energy plan. And what they did was they replaced outdoor lighting, the old halogen lighting, with LED lighting, and California, the municipalities that did this were able to recognize 60% savings in energy costs, and sort of recoup the cost of the transition within 1 to 2 years. Again, LED is great for airports, parking lots, high industrial buildings, anywhere that uses a ton of light and needs bright lights, but you need to be conscious of the cost. Will homeowners embrace Cree? Well, they may be forced to. Congress enacted the Energy Independence Act of 2007, which said, there needed to be more efficient lighting options. They didn't, ban incandescent bulbs, but just happened by nature because that technology will not be able to reach the efficiency requirements. And it sort of opened the door for LED and other competing technologies. Homeowners have not embraced this change. 30% plan to hoard incandescent bulbs. 45% say they're switching to CFLs or compact fluorescent lights, and only 24% to LEDs, which is sort of disheartening because LED really is the best alternative. CFLs are more energy efficient. However, they have mercury in them, so they're difficult to dispose of. They cannot go in landfills. They're toxic if broken. And they're not as efficient as LEDs. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth in Cree and the LED lighting industry. To talk a little bit about an LED bulb to an incandescent bulb. A 60 watt incandescent bulb versus the Cree comparative. The Cree bulb is about $10. The incandescent bulb is $1 to $2. But that Cree bulb will cost roughly $1.50 a year to run. We'll use roughly 9 watts versus 60 watts is 84% more efficient and will last 20 years if you use it 3 hours a day. So as much as it's more expensive, you're going to recoup the cost in the first 1 to 2 years. You know, culture at Cree, John Edmond, Cree co-founder, is quoted as saying, "Relentless innovation is a driving force at Cree as we continue the pursuit of 100% LED adoption." And that speaks, you know, to this company. They are constantly moving forward, you know, bringing new products to market and improving the products that they currently have on the market. You know, they will not accept the status quo. So the first measure we're going to look at is entrepreneurial intensity. And this is the combination of the frequency of entrepreneurship versus the degree. And the degree has to do with the proactiveness, the innovation, and the risk. Since 1987, Cree has been consistent with bringing new products to market, developing, you know, acquiring companies. They really have had no lulls on the developmental side. To speak to some highlights on the entrepreneurial intensity, you know, from 2011 to second quarter 2014, Cree either brought to market or announced 75 new products. In March 2013, the company had the comparable of the 60 and 40 watt bulbs in LED form, and in March 2014 had the 100 watt comparable. So this again in line or ahead of the legislation requirements. Then you look at this summer, they announced SmartCast, which is a wireless lighting system. You know, other competitors do have lighting systems, but this sort of is their you know, own organic lighting system utilizing their own products, and they're saying it's 70% more efficient than competitive ones. You know, and then they're improving in their own product lines. Again, this summer they reissued the 3-way light bulb. It's near perfect illumination. It's 90% more efficient than its predecessor, and it's at 50% cost of the competitors. So they're selling for $25 and competitors are $50 in North. So again, they're just, Cree is consistently looking at opportunities to better itself and bring better products to the consumer. Next, I looked at the climate assessment, and this was 5 different areas. The first area was leadership, where the company had 67.33. Chuck Swoboda is president, CEO, and president of the, or chairman of the board for Cree Inc. This company, you know, just plows forward, and if you're not on board, that's fine. They'll let you go, and they're going to keep moving to find people that sort of fit their culture. In first quarter 2014, the company had made 2 significant employee replacements. They replaced the head of the lighting and the components divisions, and I believe this is a reaction to stagnant quarterly earnings. You know, first quarter 2014, the company did not meet analyst expectations. You know, it was minor, but still they did not meet analyst expectations. And when you consider that the legislation is sort of pushing the adoption of LED, Cree should have had a banner quarter. The culture received 75%. I believe this is an open communication culture. It's also a collective culture where everyone pools their resources together. You have to work together, and you have to constantly be developing new ideas and just pulling on each other to have that push for new products on a consistent basis. The structure of Cree received 79%. It's significantly smaller than its competitors. When you look at competitors, they're Niche, which is GE, they're 3M, they're Osram, Sylvania, they're Philips. You know, Cree is much smaller. But what makes Cree a little bit special is that it's really focused on its core technologies, which it's able to utilize in all of its product bases. So if it improves on its core technology, the silicon carbide, and, you know, working with the diodes and the transfer of energy, all of their lines improve. You know, also Cree was founded on R&D. It's, you know, still heavily involved in R&D and spends a lot of money on research and development. To speak to that, when the economy deteriorated, several years ago, the company did not need all the lines for production. In turn, took 4 of the production lines and turned them into research and development lines. So where they're not making money at that point on product, they saw the need and just the desire to continually better themselves. For strategy and environment, strategy was an 83 and environment was a 72. The strategy for them is just, we're going to do better. We're looking for 100% adoption. We're just consistently going to bring new products to market. And again, they're ahead of the game with government regulations. They've also had some strategic acquisitions and relationships. The relationship with Home Depot, they do have some exclusive bulbs sold only through Home Depot. And for a company that size that doesn't have the name recognition, a relationship like that with the retail penetration that Home Depot has, it was a smart move on both of their parts and truly mutually beneficial. And then the acquisition of Red recently, Red Outdoor Lighting was acquired by Cree, and this expanded the outdoor lighting portfolio for Cree, and just again building on their existing product base and bringing more and better products to the consumer. Recommendation for change, I think it really has to do with education. A lot of people do not know about the changes in lighting, do not know what their alternatives are. One group that, really would embrace this are the millennials. However, only 38% even know about it. They're the group that's going to be having children and will teach their children about this and buying homes. So you hit that group and you've got, generations to come already prepared for LED. Then you have those of us that are, that sort of 30 to 50 that are working on their MBAs and raising families, and maybe we're not in tune with some of these changes and sort of, talk to our children. They will keep us in the loop of what's going on. And also, just maybe putting corporate plans together where they can come in sort of through our HR groups and sort of that knowledge base and education. So for me, I think that for Cree, it's really about education. And if they show the stewardship of providing the intelligence for people, in turn, they will have consumer loyalty and go back to Cree when they're making their purchases. In closing, I want to talk about 2 personal experiences. The first is my own home. My husband has been switching bulbs for the last 6 months. I did not understand the LED bulb. I did not see the necessity, and when he wasn't looking, I was buying bulbs at the dollar store because I was not going to spend $10-$20 a light bulb. But now, being educated, I see that if it's not even for saving a couple bucks on my power bill, it's a bigger picture and just yet less power usage and improving my own carbon footprint. And then to speak to sort of city planning, I work in a building that opened in March, and it is touted as the most energy efficient building in Allentown right now. More energy efficient than the PP&L building. And we're having trouble with our lighting. And I walked around with maintenance and asked him a couple questions. And, he informed me that, yes, we are using fluorescent lighting. And the bulbs are blowing out because we're constantly in and out. And, we do have a smart system that when we walk out of the building, after so many minutes, all the lights go out, and then we walk back in and they come back on. And it just, it's not working out. We're having to replace bulbs, 3 months into this building, which is extremely expensive. And I'm just curious why, when you're in a project in an economic development zone where you're using tax-free money, why wasn't this thought of? Who dropped the ball here? Is it the developer? Is it, lack of knowledge? Is it cost savings? I think if they had the opportunity to really look at it long term, they would have realized that, LED would have been a better option. So, I just think that education will be truly beneficial to Cree, and if they can sort of show that citizenship and that their corporate responsibility, that they care about the environment, and obviously their product is environmentally friendly, but they need to sell themselves that way. And I think that will bring big financial benefit to Cree. So thank you and have a great night.